Zach Cregger's Resident Evil has reportedly been described as a horror fury road that is 90 minutes of all gas, no brakes. Zach Cregger is one flop away from becoming the next Jordan Peele, who is the next M. Night Shyamalan, good and bad. I'm not saying there can't be a good Resident Evil movie adaptation, but I don't think Zach Cregger's the person for it. I like Barbarian to a point, and I like Weapons to a point. Both movies have issues. Here's the problem with Resident Evil. Resident Evil is extremely hard to adapt into a movie because Resident Evil is a ripoff of movies. The first Resident Evil game is a ripoff of several zombie films, a 1989 Japanese horror film, Sweet Home, Hell of the Living Dead, Zombie 2, various George A. Romero films, that all clearly help to inspire the Resident Evil, the story, the lore, the atmosphere. Because you have to remember, Resident Evil is a video game. When they were making the first game, the primary focus was not the story. Oh, let's make a really interesting, cool story. It was let's make a cool, fun, scary game. Look, hey, I love Jill as much as the next person, but she's not a terribly interesting character. The Resident Evil lore is not super interesting. It's kind of generic, okay? Evil corporation is doing genetic experiments on humans. They're trying to bioengineer a deadly virus or whatever. There's some corporate espionage with Ada Wong. The most interesting thing in Resident Evil is the corporate espionage with Ada Wong, or whoever Ada Wong is working for. I'm not sure it ever has been properly revealed what her whole thing is. Ada Wong has always had a mystique about her, about what her true motivations are, who is she really working for. And her relationship with Leon, he has always been a highlight of the series, a major highlight. It's one of the best things in Resident Evil 4. Zach Cregger's movie just sounds like a thrill ride. It just sounds like a roller coaster ride, which is the way a lot of these video game adaptations have gone. But here's the problem, Jack. The reason why the Mario movie can get away with being a roller coaster ride is because it looks like Mario. It has a very cartoonish visual style that looks like Mario. Mario is an iconic character, whereas Resident Evil does not really have a super iconic character. What Nintendo has. Leon is the most iconic Resident Evil character. Next to him, I'd probably say Jill, and that's probably about it. Most people don't know about Claire Redfield. They don't know about Chris Redfield. They don't know about Wesker, Ethan Winters. Ain't nobody care about Ethan Winters. Even Krista of Kit and Krista fame said Ethan Winters was, and I quote, stupid.
You're talking some crap about Ethan. You didn't like Ethan.
Ethan's dumb.
What?
You don't think Ethan's dumb?
And I agree with her so much. Ethan Winters sucks, dude. It's such a blatant ripoff of Isaac from Dead Space. Who is another just lame avatar? At least Isaac from Dead Space has a cool look. I don't even know what Ethan Winters looks like. I mean, I guess it makes sense since Resident Evil 7 was basically the same as Zach Cregger's film Barbarian. It was like the same plot, basically. You know, it's the hillbilly inbred family that mutates and goes cray-cray, and Zach Cregger's Resident Evil film is going to fail because mainstream audiences are not that into Resident Evil. I know, well, the game just sold like 1 billion copies or whatever. Resident Evil 9 just sold 1 billion copies. That's not moviegoers. A lot of gamers are not going to go to the movies and watch this. You have to appeal to general audiences as well. And it sounds to me like Zach Cregger's Resident Evil is just going to be a chase film, a zombie-themed chase film. I don't think it's going to sit well with Resident Evil fans, and I don't think it's going to sit well with general audiences. As a Resident Evil fan, I'm not interested in a Resident Evil chase movie. I'm not interested